All right, so we have installed Lens Studio. We have looked at the environment and we've done a bunch of other stuff. Now what we want to do is actually make this thing look kind of a little bit more integrated into our face. So we've brought in we've brought in our smudgy ugly. I'm going to go off this opacity texture and click on texture here so we can see it on here. And now what I want to do is I want to kind of blend this into my face a little more so it doesn't just look like it's popped on. So it actually feels like it's part of my face. I'm going to go ahead and select my face mask up here. And this is where we can play with this inspector a little bit more. So right now we have the material as default, leave it as that. We have our smudgy ugly texture and our opacity texture of full no eyes lips. So we can see our eyes and we can see our lips and all that jazz. I'm going to go into this blend mode. This is where we can start to play a little bit. Actually, let's look at alpha here. Alpha, just so you know, an alpha channel is the transparency, so how opaque or transparent something is, or how hard and like not see-through versus see-through. At 1, it's not see-through. If I take it down, you'll notice it becomes lighter and lighter and brighter, taking it up. And so we can actually adjust it a little bit so it's not as strong. I'm going to leave this at 1. What I like are these blend modes right here. Right now it's set to normal. So normal is as is, but there are all these other options like darken, multiply, color burn. These three will all be will take dark values of your skin underneath and mix it with the values of that thing on top of our actual face paint. So I'm going to click on darken and you'll see it's still there, but the darkest of the values are mixing in with my face. Let's go to multiply. Now that's a little bit better. So that looks really integrated. It's starting to actually look like it's painted on my face. So it's actually blended into my skin a little bit better, and it's using the darker tones of this, but also the darker tones of my face. Let's look at color burn, and you'll see that there's a lot more color to it, and let me go ahead and try to cover up. I'm getting a lot of light from my window over there. But it's actually much more saturated, but still darker. I'm starting to look like I'm wearing clown makeup. It looks kind of spooky. I kind of love it. Let's go ahead and, you know what? I'm going to pause this quickly, and I'm going to close my blinds to make this better. Blinds closed. It was like magic, right? Okay, so let's go back. So color burn. Now the next set, lighten, screen, color dodge, add. This will use lighter values. So lighten, boom, like look at that. It's using the actual brighter colors of this image here. Screen, you'll start to notice they all look they have different kind of ways that they mix the colors. Ooh, this one looks kind of cool. Like it looks super fake, but it almost makes like this cartoon magicness to me. Add. Add will just add the colors together to get them all the way as bright as, when colors add together, what we're using is additive light, so the more you add colors to other colors, the brighter it gets. Then you get to things like overlay. I love overlay. Overlay tends to be one of my favorites. It does this really interesting mix of how it actually brings in stuff. So you get good saturation, but it mixes in really well with stuff. And then there's soft light, which hard light, vivid light. I'm not gonna go through all these. I'm kind of set right now. I actually really liked, I think, multiply. No, I liked color burn. I'm gonna stick with color burn for now. That just looks good to me. So these are actual ways that we can affect the visuals on here. There are more things that we can do though. Some pretty interesting things we do. We can add more components or more objects. See this add component? I'm going to click on it down there. We have all this stuff we can do. And I suggest watching some of the other tutorials. But let's do something like, I'm going to go down. Let's go, they have got these effects like post effect. I'm going to click on post effect right now and you'll notice, oh, that gets really bright and strange. Let me hit command, let's see, post effect, default. No, let's command Z. We're not going to do that in there. So I need to get rid of that post effect. I didn't want to add it this way. I wanted to add a preset. So I'm going to go to where this post effect is. I'm going to right click and click delete. Good. We're back to where we were. It's up here in objects that I want to add a post effect. I'm going to click add new, and I'm going to scroll down until I find post effects, and there's some interesting kind of fun stuff that you can play with. Like, let's hit up halftone. Boom! Halftone brings up an effect that is like making it kind of comic booky, and it's fun, and you'll see this halftone post effect, but we can't edit it up here. And the reason is because the effect is down here as a material. So we have to go, it adds it to our resources. So we need to go into the material of our resources down here, and where this halftone is, we select that, and it brings up these resources here that we can play with. So our halftone size, we can bring way up. So it's like very blotchy, or we can bring it way down. It's moving a little bit slow. There we go. Some interesting stuff here. I'm not in love with this. It's not my favorite thing in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and go up to this effect right here, halftone. And I'm going to disable it by this little check mark here. I'm going to uncheck it. So I can uncheck it like that. Nice. I'm going to go back to my add new. I'm going to go look at post effects, analog TV. How's that one look? Oh, see, this one actually adds some cool stuff to everything. Let's go down to the analog TV here and click on it. And this kind of makes it look like an old kind of bad TV. I can bring up the noise intensity. Oh, look at that. Look at that noise. Oh, it's super noisy. Super duper noisy. Abrasion, distortion. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a bad TV. And so that gets kind of fun. So now I have my painty face, bad TV look. Let's get that chromatic abrasion up a little bit. Let's bring this up a little bit. And I want to change my noise color. So I'm just going to click on that. It gives me this kind of color menu that I can play with. I can make the noise whatever color I want. Ooh, to make it bright and messed up. And I'll hit OK. So my ugly smear thing, let's go ahead and save. I'm going to hit Command S or Control S to save. Or you can hit File, Save to save, just so we have it good. And now we've played with some actual effects and some blending modes. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually preview this on a phone, and I'm going to show you how to actually push this to and publish this to your Snapchats. All right, thanks y'all.